Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Woo! So there's a lot of LGBTQ plus news in this video, but we wanted to start with something else. So look out for timestamps below. There's going to be 3 specific things we're going to talk about in this video. So all 3 timestamps will be down below. But we're going to first talk about our last video. And our last video was, we talked about the games, the summer series games that had happened. Also, we talked about predictions that were made across the interwebs, across, media about who they thought were going to be on the Olympic roster. And a lot of good comments. A lot of people put their predictions down in the comments about who they thought. And a lot of overlapping people kind of thought the same things. I will say, this video is going to come out Tuesday, the 22nd. The roster could be released the day we release this video.
Whoa, imagine that.
Even if it is, we'll still release this video, and then we'll make another video about the official roster, who actually officially will be on it. But what I wanted to do in this video, I actually wanted to give our predictions, our official Sarah predictions. What do you think, Sarah?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
So for our official prediction, it's going to be pretty easy. There was a comment left in the comment section that I agree with pretty much. And so
Took the words right out of your
I'm
mouth.
stealing their prediction because I really like this lineup, that I'm going to steal this prediction, not steal it. I'm going to agree with it, basically.
You're going to borrow it because they took the words right out of your mouth, right?
So it's Micheal R. I love Micheal R. Thank you so much for this prediction because he's always great. Micheal is a cornucopia of soccer knowledge. So I'm taking his prediction and I agree with it. And I'll put it on the screen. And it is goalkeepers, Alyssa and 80. And then defenders, Becky, Abby, Crystal, Sonnet, Purse, and Kelly. Then it is midfielders, Lindsay, Sam, Julie, Rose, and Kristie. Then it is forwards, Kristen, Alex, Carly, Megan, and Tobin. There it is. That's my prediction. A lot of other people commented back that that's kind of their prediction as well. A lot of people say they think maybe instead of Purse, it's going to be Tierna. But we all know Purse can play as a forward. You think so? Midge could also play as a forward. Midge, she's so versatile. And a lot of people think
Tierna can do things.
Yeah, and a lot of people think instead of Kristie, it's either going to be Andy or it's going to be Katarina. So I want it to be Kristie, so I'm manifesting it to be Kristie.
I think it definitely could be Kristie.
I just like this lineup right here. I really like it. There's a lot of other things I think I'm gonna manifest this roster, but that's what I'm saying. You agree?
I mean, yeah, I like the idea of him taking more forwards.
As soon as the official roster gets dropped, we will make a video about that as well. So, but I like this lineup. I like this roster. I keep calling it lineup like baseball. I like this roster.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty strong roster.
So that's the first thing we're going to talk about. The second thing we're going to talk about, like we said at the beginning, this is a very LGBTQ. A lot of things have been going on in the LGBTQ sports world as of today. Both these things I think dropped today would happen. So the very first thing we're going to talk about, we'll put on the screen, but
soccer player Kumi Yokoyama comes out as transgendered. It would be harder to live closeted.
Yeah. So
I'm giving some snaps. Yes.
So it was just announced that they have just come out to saying they are trans. They felt comfortable enough at this point to kind of share that with everybody.
Yeah, I love that. Second NWSL player.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
come out as trans.
Yeah, and both happened this year. No, maybe Quinn was last year technically. Exciting. We're going to read a little bit from the article, but I will say where Yokoyama came out was an interview they did with Yuki Nagasto, who has a YouTube channel here on YouTube. And
we stand.
She is so freaking cute, Yuki. But they did an interview, and it's in Japanese. But from what I watched of that, about halfway it's closed captioned in English. For some reason, the closed caption stopped for me about halfway through. I don't know if they're still working on them. But closed captioning, check that out. But we're going to read a little bit from this article, and definitely check out that on Yuki's channel. But we'll read a little bit about their journey.
Washington Spirit forward Yokoyama came out as a transgendered man on Saturday, becoming the highest profile Japanese athlete to do so in a country where acceptance of LGBTQ issues faces numerous hurdles despite recent trends toward understanding. In a video interview posted on the YouTube channel of former Nadeshiko Japan teammate Yuki Nagasto, the 27-year-old said that playing in the United States and Germany had shown Yokoyama that it could be possible to live openly. I've dated several women over the years, but I had to stay closeted in Japan, Yokoyama said in the 18-minute interview. In Japan, I'd always be asked if I had a boyfriend, but here in the U.S., I'm asked if I have a boyfriend or girlfriend. Thank you. Sorry, I love that. I love that. When my girlfriend said there was no reason for me to stay closeted, it really hit me. Coming out wasn't something I was enthusiastic about, but if I think about my life going forward, it would be harder to live closeted, so I found the courage to come out. The former Nadeshiko striker, who participated in the 2019 Women's World Cup in France, said they had undergone top surgery or the removal of breast tissue after turning 20 years old and would undergo further gender-affirming procedures after retiring as a player. They cited Canada international and OL Reign midfielder Quinn, who also went public with their transition in 2020, as an inspiration. A tweet from the Spirit said Yokoyama, like Quinn, who goes by one name, would use gender-neutral pronouns they and them going forward. Quinn wore a sweatshirt that said "Protect trans kids before a game," and I realized that's what taking action looks like, Yokoyama said. To be able to accept people you have no relationship with, that's the kind of person I'd like to become, and I hope we can create that society. The Tokyo native first became aware of their gender identity as a child, cutting their hair short, beginning in elementary school, and refusing to wear feminine clothing for the traditional Shichi-go-sen ceremony celebrated by 3- and 7-year-old girls and 5-year-old boys in Japan. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I never saw myself as a girl, so I hated puberty, Yokoyama said. When I reached adulthood, I thought I'd maybe play soccer for another 1 or 2 years, so after that season ended, I had my breast removed. Normally you can't have it unless you're receiving hormones, but my doctor understood my situation. I would have been caught by doping tests if I was on hormones, so I just had top surgery. While same-sex marriage and LGBT acceptance have gained increasing support among Japan's younger population, athletes are often pressured to remain closeted even after their playing careers end. Transgender rights activist Fumino Sugiyama has been frank about their struggles during this time representing Japan in women's fencing, while retired basketball player Ryan Hill came out as transgendered man last October. Gon Matsunaka, head of Pride House Tokyo, expressed hope that a recent wave of Japanese athletes who have come out as LGBTQ
would lend to more support
for those still in the closet.
So there's more to the article. We will link it down below, but I think for Yokoyama to come out and feel safe to come out now, because they talk about in this article, and there's more to the article linked down below, that in Japan it's still very, very, very taboo generally, and that's also what they talk about in the interview with Yuki Nagasto, that it's not accepted quite yet in Japan. And I mean, I think we think of the United States as being progressive, and a lot of countries that are pretty homogenous, like a Japan, like where there's not a lot of outsiders. I think it's harder for countries like that to kind of transition to more progressive ideas.
Yeah, just because we have so much diversity over
Yes, exactly. But it sounds like the younger generation in Japan is understanding that, that more progressive way of thinking, or that, it's to be able to be who you are is more important than old traditions that maybe their grandfathers or grandmothers. Be respectful. Mm-hmm. They're very about respect in Japan.
Yeah.
Be respectful, but still say, I want people to be able to live their truth. Almost, you kind of take pride in, a little bit of America to say, they felt comfortable coming to America, and they said in Germany too, felt comfortable in America, Germany to really be who they want to be. And they were very honest. It was reluctant. It wasn't like, I'm ready, I'm here, I come. It's more like it made sense. They were ready, rather than.
Right, yeah.
I think there also is that question, like they were talking about, being able to transition, but they can't take hormones because hormones are not regulated. They can't, they would fail doping tests. Mm-hmm. And, that's still a kind of a tricky navigation that's going on right now too, with transgender athletes and I think countries, people are still figuring out what is the rules, as they change, because we're changing as societies. So
Right.
very excited. NWSL, I love that. Another second for the NWSL.
Just NWSL and women's soccer. I mean, it's football, soccer in general.
I love it.
Making waves.
So
Good ones.
one of the reasons I specifically want to do this story today, and also do the next story we're going to talk about, because they both came out today, and this story was groundbreaking, but the next story we're going to talk about is equally as groundbreaking, I think, for men's sports. So
I agree.
This just came out in the last couple hours, but we're going to read.
Speaking about a man here.
Yeah, something we never talk about, American football, but
we're switching it up. Raiders' Carl Nassib announces he's gay, an NFL first.
Yeah, we're going to read a little bit from the story, but an actual playing active player has announced they are gay.
First one ever, right?
Ever that's officially playing in the NFL. Because there has been a couple that after the fact, or that ones were drafted but never played. But he is an official NFL player. And we're going to read a little bit about it, and then we'll kind of talk about it.
The Raiders defensive lineman came out in a statement posted to his Instagram account on Monday, becoming the first active player in the league to publicly identify as gay. I'm sorry if I'm reading strangely, but I've got ampollas, also known as canker sores.
From the dentist.
On Monday, Raiders defensive lineman Carl Nassib became the first active NFL player to publicly declare that he is gay. I just want to take a quick moment to say that I'm gay. So Nassib said in a video posted to his Instagram account, "I just think that representation and visibility are so important. I actually hope that one day videos like this and the whole coming out process are just not necessary. But until then, I'm going to do my best and my part to cultivate a culture that's accepting and that's compassionate." So he said that he would donate $100,000 to the Trevor Project,
Wow.
which I thought I heard $1,000.
Oh, you thought
when
you
I
thought, yeah.
when I heard the video. The Trevor Project, which is a nonprofit group that focuses on suicide prevention efforts among lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, queer, and questioning youth. "Sadly, I have agonized over this moment for the last 15 years, he wrote in the same post. Nassib, a 5-year NFL veteran who previously played with the Cleveland Browns and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, said he was finally comfortable getting it off my chest. Nassib, 28, thanked coaches, teammates, and NFL for their support. "I would not be able to do this without them," he wrote in his Instagram post.
Okay, we'll link the article down below, but I kind of take two things from that. First of all, male sports figures still being gay or bi or anything LGBT is still overall not accepted within the sports community. I mean, there are certain sports where it's, kind of more accepted, but, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, it's not really accepted. The NFL in the United States, I think, is almost like the most manly to be like, oh, the football, because I know in other countries soccer is the most like manly sport, but here in America it's football. It's American football. For him to come out and just say I'm gay, and I've been agonizing about it, because a lot of these men, there are other gay men in the league, I'm suspecting, they can't come out and just say it because the acceptance is not there for male sports. But he's starting to say, I'm gay, this is the way it is, I've agonized this, but I'm ready. I just want to come out.
Yeah, I feel like this should have happened years ago, but
for male sports.
It's slow.
Yeah, for male sports. And I mean, he also said he was supported by the people around him too. So I think this could be a turn in the tide where, other male athletes say, I respect someone for being exactly who they are. It's not even like, I don't care. Like, I think the old adage for gay people is, hey, you be you. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're happy, I'm happy for you. But I think now it's like, I respect you and I love you and I respect it. It's not just like, oh, if it doesn't involve me, I don't care. That used to be kind of the thing. But now it's like, I respect you,
Aretha said it herself. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. That's
what do you mean?
All they want.
So I'm really excited for Carl. And like he said, in the future, these announcements there won't be announcements. And I think for women's soccer or women's sports, there aren't these announcements anymore overall. Sometimes there are. But for male sports, I think for male sports, it's still kind of, making an announcement. But there's going to be a day where, like Carl says, there's not going to be an announcement, for male sports. And I think that's awesome. But so we wanted to talk about that.
And we're here for any more that want to come our way. We'll report on it. You heard it here, Sarah and Sarah. We are journalists above all, right?
We were actually going to do a different video today. We're going to do one about DVD going to Lyon, but we said, no, let's do this video first because we were excited to hear both these stories.
Yeah, and it's Pride Month. So.
It's Pride Month, exactly. I'm excited for Carl. And like I said, Carl, this really is groundbreaking for men's sports. I hope this starts a new chapter for men's sports going forward. Not even men's sports, for the NFL. When I say men's sports, I do mean men's sports, but I mean the NFL because the NFL is, don't you agree, sir? It's like the league of like, oh, I'm tougher than you. I'm tougher than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that, and I feel like the NBA as well.
The NBA.
But yeah, football the most.
Yeah, American football. Excited for Yokoyama because to be who you are, it's just exciting that it's fun. And as much as it's relieving, it's still scary at the same time. Even though it's out there, it's still scary, for these two individuals,
Oh, yeah.
Just, reactions. And, I'm glad society is, teaching us about things too every single day. Questions, comments down below. What do you guys think? What do you think about our predictions, which are really just Micheal Rs predictions that I've latched onto? And
I just kind of backed a little.
I just really like that prediction.
And what busy, y'all.
What do you think about these two moments in sports? Because I think they're important and excited and happy for both of them. I'm already following Yokoyama because I watch Washington Spirit, but I will be following Carl. Questions, comments down below. What did you guys think? And we will see you soon. Like I said, if the roster drops tomorrow, which will be Tuesday, we will make a video the night the roster drops. That is our promise. It will come out the next day. So hopefully for some reason, I think it's going to come out Thursday. That is my guess.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why, but questions, comments down below. We'll see you guys. See everyone later. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.